So Tony, today is the day you learn how to take someone's back. As a fresh white belt, don't let the gi fool you. This is my old gi. He's not that strong, even though he looks like a NASCAR. So, Sunshine, you're gonna be on your back. Nice break fall. Tony, your goal here is to take his back, right? First, we're gonna be doing it with no resistance, and I'm gonna walk you through the movements I want you to do. Now, you saw a little bit of what we were filming earlier about the back takes. Let's turn this way a little bit, Sunshine. So, each time you do a rep of this drill, you're going to be passing his guard, but I want you to use a different guard pass each time. If you only know a certain amount of guard passes, that's fine, just run through them, okay? One that I know you're good at is the X pass. So, you're gonna get into X pass position, here like this, X pass, and Sunshine's goal is just to turn away from you. He turns away. Once we move into the live drill, we'll go into a live sparring situation from this moment, but he always has to turn away. You have to take his back. When you take his back, you get your seatbelt and you're throwing your hooks in. Right? 1, and then 2, just like that. Now, in a controlled environment like this, where he's not resisting, your hooks are just going to go in easily. Throughout the course of the drill, I'm going to turn up Sunshine's resistance. And as we run into different things impeding your progress, we're going to deal with them. I'm going to tell you, oh, this is how you deal with this grip. This is how you deal with him blocking this. As you're doing the movements, I want you to constantly be looking for opportunities to choke him. Okay? So as you're taking the back, if you ever see an opportunity where he's blocking your hooks, I want you to threaten a choke, whether it's rear naked choke or collar choke. Okay? So go ahead, just for demonstration purposes, go ahead and do your first pass. It can be X pass, and it doesn't have to be fast. We're just running through the motion once or twice. Seatbelt, getting your chair sit position, 1 hook, 2 hooks. Perfect. All right. Again, this time, Sunshine, you're going to be doing what's called controlled resistance. So you're going to be resisting, but the goal is still to let him do the movement, but you're going to provide like technical blockings of his movement. So that includes the guard passing. Right from the get-go, if he does an X pass, you don't like grip him up super tight, but like when I go here and I kick back and I go, not like that. Wait for me to just do it first. Wait for me to explain. So I X pass here, instead of turning away, you can turn in for a second, and then he has to change his pass to the other side and start trying to pass in a different way. So normally, like if you go X pass, here, I'm here, I start to try and push, and you go to turn into me, you switch to like a leg drag, right, Tony? So you're gonna do one guard resistance, and then turn away, and then the drill continues. You take it back. All right? So, go ahead, Tony. You're gonna work to pass his guard. He's gonna resist 1 time, and you have to transition into a second pass, leg drag. Boom. Seat belt. Get the chair sit position. Take the back. Good. Again. Now this time, same thing, but as he goes to take your back, you can try do a movement to defend the back. Okay? Leg drag here. He's blocking your hook. That was close, but that's not going to get your hook in, okay? So if he goes to block your hook here, see how you're flat on your back here like this? Your spine is totally flat along the ground. What you want to do is get to a position that's called the chair sit position. And it's where you're seated vertically, cradling him in your lap, kind of. So you actually have to move your leg out. This is the end goal, yes. So now let me show you the movement to get here. So you end up here, you're like this on your side, and you can't get your hook. Come around on this side, Joe, so you can see. My bottom foot, my right foot, I'm going to do almost like a technical stand-up. It's going to look like the same thing. Technical stand-up, my knee comes out to the back, but I maintain the seatbelt grip. I shoot this knee close along his back, here. In like this, and then pull him up into my lap. So now, you see how instead of laying flat, you're seated, he's still laying flat. But look, now my foot's closer to my body, so I can get my foot into his hip and shoot that hook in easier. So this is something that happens a lot, and you can lose back a lot of the time if you stay here. Everyone's told to keep the seatbelt really tight, but if you keep the seatbelt too tight, you're stuck down here with him. And I'm not going to be able to get my hook in, and I don't have any mobility in my hips. I can't go left or right, I'm just stuck. So it's actually okay, a lot of times it's good to grab the collar like this, far side collar, so I have a free hand to help me get up. If I have this collar, he can't turn away from me, right? He can't really turn into me as well either, because if he turns into me in this position, you're just going to mount him, right? I'm going to get up and mount him. So his only option is to kind of turn away, and you're just going to maintain. So I take my elbow out, post, chair sit, bring the knee in, then reconnect seatbelt, pull him into your lap. Second hook, pull him over, and then next hook, okay? So now, guard pass, you resist once, you leg drag, go to the back, try and take the back, fall down, he's gonna defend, and you're gonna do the chair sit. Leg drag, curl, you throw your bottom hook in, good. Now from here, you the cross collar. So this is the hand that you want to control in the collar. This hand is now free to do whatever it needs to. It can help you get up, slide the knee to the back, re-seat belt, throw the hook first, and then, perfect, good. So, again, Sunshine, you have a little more freedom to do whatever you want. Just don't let him take you back this time. And whatever you do to if you successfully stop him, I'm going to then tell him how to beat your successful stoppage.
Okay, so I do
Understand?
whatever I want.
Only once you actually turn away. So the guard is the same.
Gotcha.
You can change up your guard control a little bit. Tony has a good understanding of like moving into the next pass. So Tony, start with X pass. He can kind of give you a little bit of resistance. Just pass the guard. Once he passes, you turn away. And then once you turn away, you're free to try and escape.
Gotcha.
Do I have to end up on that side? Can I pass?
You can do it to either side.
Okay, cool.
But once you get past his legs, which you have to let him do, then you're free to defend as much as you want. So what we're doing here, and we talked about this before, this is randomized learning, right? So the random reactions make your brain have to think a little bit more than just like doing the drill itself. If you're just going through the motions and we just did it over and over again, it's not teaching you anything. But if we do it like this, where he does a random reaction that neither of us expect, luckily I have the knowledge to be able to be like, okay, that's how he stopped you. I'm going to show you now how to beat that motion, that movement. Okay? So let's do it in action. Here, you can do whatever pass, it's fine if you just do the same thing. Here, good, go. You're looking for hooks, Tony. Pause. Pause, pause, pause. So, you're already you're not doing anything wrong. Neither of you are doing anything wrong here. But I just want to highlight, Tony's using the back control collar grip, the horseshoe grip, and then he's got a grip here under the collar. Do you have a cross grip or same side? Cross grip. So cross grip is actually better. So that's good. So you have cross grip, but you can also do it with the same side grip. Scoot back over here a little bit, guys. So Tony, your goal here is you want to get that near side hook in, right? He's probably going to be trying to turn this way to block that. So you may have to, if he starts to turn more this way, you're going to have to sort of dive your body and change your seatbelt grip to this hand over the top if you dive this way. If you dive this way and you keep the seatbelt on this side, it's going to be a problem. Let's just run through it so you can see, like, if you switch the seatbelt, Sunshine, you roll to your left. Roll, roll. Yes, you have to go there. Perfect. So look what happens if you don't do that. Go back. So you keep the same side. Roll, but just connect the seatbelt over his shoulder. If you go this way now, Sunshine, you're going to be in trouble. So you lose the position. So go back.
Start over?
Start over again. I just wanted to just educate you of what can happen there. Do it again. You may end up in the same position, you may not. Good. Perfect. Good. You have that cross collar grip. The cross collar grip saving you here. Good. You have it in the chair seat position. Connect your hands. Look for top hook now. Top hook. Pause. Right here. That's what I say there. When I say pause, pause, pause. Pause means pause. So here, you're stuck. You're in almost like a crucifix position. From here, you can chair sit again. But this time, you can't let go of your seatbelt. Keep your hands connected. Go flat out to your belly, but keep your hands connected. So bottom leg that goes under, pull, sit up, shoot the leg in, pull him into your chair sit. As you, see how you rotate it this way? As you rotate, the top hook always needs to be thrown in. Second hook. Good. All right, reset. So he started to escape his hips, and you're still in control. Your options there are either to go to crucifix, which you're probably not as familiar with yet, but the chair sit is a really good instinctual thing to build. Whenever you find yourself in these positions where you have seat belts and they're sort of squirming away, you can chair sit to reset your hook attacks. Again, this time do just a Toreando pass, and then whatever Sunshine does, you have to just try and think of a second pass. Good. You can even just Toreando again. Perfect. To the back. Good. You're sitting into the chair sit position. Time. So what happened there was one of the things we discussed before you got here. On your back, sunshine. Facing that way. You had this side seatbelt? Was it this side?
I think so.
It was not. It was this side. So you had this side seatbelt, I believe. No, it was this side. I don't know. We've lost the tape. Who knows? But the point is, here, if you have this side seatbelt, you need to constantly be trying to drive him to the side so your head is on top of his. If you go this way, which is what happened, you fell this way, he can get up to his knees and rotate his head out. So whenever you have a seatbelt, if your head is underneath his head, he has an opportunity to escape. And that's a really good back escape that only Sunshine only knows because I taught him it, and it's my secret back escape, which I used on Nicholas Marigali last weekend, which there isn't an instructional on yet, but we will do it soon. So you're in this position here. You're looking for your hooks, but he starts to roll you this way. If your elbow is up, exposed to air, this is bad. You need to do whatever you can do. If you can get him back this way, great. Then you proceed as normal. If you feel like you're losing it, you need to underhook and switch to double unders, like this, controlling the collars or connecting your hands. This will give you sort of an intermediary position here where you have control. You may not get your hooks right here, but you're going to be able to stay on his back and then switch to the proper side seatbelt. So now your head is up. If he goes back this way, same thing. Underhook, you can just hook here like this, and this will keep you latched to him. My legs are just on the outside of his hips, and then I switch again. Control. But you can never just insist on staying here. If you keep this connected too much, and he falls, you're not going to be able to catch up. Because he just goes to his knees here. No matter what I let go with now, you ended up in this kind of position. But on your knees, but I can't get up because I'm paralyzed from this. Whenever I lay here, I'm just totally paralyzed. We're in pain. All right. So, this time, when you're going to take it back, if you ever end up in that position, I want you to be ready to let go and go to double unders to maintain your control. Whatever pass you want, the pass is not important. You just have to turn. Seatbelt. Good. You got that cross collar, seatbelt. Start to walk away as long as your head is up. Keeping that collar control. Look for those hooks. Look for those hooks, Tony. Cradle him. Pause. Time. So that was a good escape again. You were just a little too frivolous with your underhooks. You didn't need to let go because you weren't in that exact position. So like the one we just talked about, you were letting go from your underhooks here. Like, or even if he was on his knees, you're like letting go here to go underhooking. But if you let go here, my head's in proper position because my head's above his, right? If you let go here, he's going to come out the back end here with his head like this, and that's what happened. He flipped you this way. So only let go of the seatbelt. Oh, literally, the only time you should ever do it is if he goes this way. If your head is underneath his, that's when you do it. Because there's no opportunity for him to reverse it here. But if you let go in any other position, here, if you let go and post, he's going to be able to escape. So, seatbelt or cross collar at all times unless your head is underneath his head. And I know that's like not something you can like consciously think about, but I just have to keep reminding you as it happens so that over time you'll get better at it. Again. This time go from long step. You know how to long step? Mm-hmm. Try and do a long step pass. Let me just see you do it first. Good, perfect. And then so, when you long step, sometimes turn away like as you did. It's going to be harder to do, but just do it anyways. Just to practice different passes. So, turn away, collar. So seatbelt at all times or some sort of control, cross collar control. Keep resisting for real sometimes. I can tell you taking it easy now. Yes? You want to be to that side. So what we're seeing here, guys, is the chair sit position. Keep going, guys. Chair sit position, and then look. Yes. See how you let go of the seatbelt to get that underhook? And that's what saves him from escaping. He's threatening the choke. He's threatening the choke so he can get his hooks. Switch to rear naked, Tony. Rear naked. Left hand comes up underneath. Sometimes defending well. And up. Time. We don't need to kill Sunshine on camera. That's off-camera stuff when we murder Sunshine later on. Okay, that was really good. what we saw there is Tony was instinctively, he saw that the choke was presenting itself because Sunshine was doing such a good job of blocking the hooks. Now, it's important to note that whenever you have a choke in this position, you need to be ready to switch to full rear naked quickly and effectively. If your arm is underneath like this, but you have the choke fully, what you need to do is you have actually, as you go here, he's going to start switching to defend the collar or defend the choke itself like this. So as you go here and he starts to defend the choke, you don't want to just go straight here. You actually come back underneath and trap first and then let go. So you have a split second of time to get your hand behind his head, and then you can just finish this choke, because there's no better back control than a full-on rear naked choke. Because no matter where he rolls here, I'm just going to squeeze, and he's going to choke himself more. So you don't, like, if you can ever connect fully, don't even worry about the hooks anymore. Just hang on and squeeze. And if he rolls anywhere, he's stacking his weight over his neck. Anytime he lifts his hips, his head's going to be pinched down over your own arm. So always look for that opportunity. Again, let's switch roles. Tony, you're on bottom this time.
Let me get my mouth guard.
Good. You have to be somewhere?
No, I was looking for my mouth guard.
I need to buy one.
You both need mouth guards.
Yeah.
Mouth guards, very important stuff.
Alright, so just do Troyando, he turns away.
Whatever pass you want. All Tony has to do is turn away and not get his back taken. Boom. So Sunshine did a really good job of getting that first hook. He understood the importance and the priority of the first hook. Once you control double hooks, we'll start over. Right here you can chair sit sometimes. Chair sit is the proper action. Time, pause. So you're a little slow on the chair sit.
Yeah.
And it was just because you didn't recognize it right away, you waited for me to tell you. But whenever he starts to scoot his hips out, flat to the mat, you chair sit. Try again. So for those of you at home, what just happened was, Sunshine was basically on Tony's back. He had the position, he even had the bottom hook, but Tony started scooting his hips over here. From this position, I can't keep trying to put my hooks in. If I keep trying, nothing's gonna happen. I'm actually just helping him turn into me more if I get this top hook. So it's important that I keep the seatbelt, put my weight on top of him, bring the knee along his back, and pull him into the chair sit position. This is the safest position for the back attacker. Then I throw my hooks. And it literally, you just keep doing this. If he keeps defending, he keeps moving, you do the same thing. Chair sit. Pull him into your lap. Throw the hook. He defends, chair sit. Pull him into your lap. Start throwing your hooks. It's just that over and over again. So many opportunities and missed back attacks happen because people don't know how to chair sit properly. Chair sitting, super important instinct that only can be built in situations like this. You can't just force someone to drill that. You have to feel the live reaction so you can really demonstrate and they can understand it in a real setting. Again. Go, where's my kendo stick?
Good thing I'm on bottom right now.
Next person to mess up is getting the kendo stick. Pass, live, go. Good. Pause. Everyone freeze. Sunshine, your bottom leg's doing nothing here. It's literally serves no purpose. It's stuck underneath him. Your top hands are in seatbelt position, but you can't get your hook in from here. His arm's blocking it. What should you do?
I should chair sit.
You should chair sit. Immediately readjust, get your knee higher. The closer up to his back, the better. That's good, that's good. Now from here, you continue the fight. He doesn't have a way he can turn to rotate, and both your legs are actively doing something. All right, go. Nice. Chair sit again, get your seatbelt back. Time. Good escape, Tony, very good. So you let go of the seatbelt because you were trying to do something else, like you couldn't get your hook. So what was the problem? Why couldn't you get your hook? Let me show you. You're here, you have him in the chair sit position, like this. He's blocking and you can't get your foot. This is something we didn't cover in the video series on this, but what's really strong and that you can do is you can get his wrist. If you get his wrist here, like this, and then connect the seatbelt with the wrist control, so this mixes like the Kimura trap system with this, Now, when I go to throw my hook, he can't block it with his hand. He can only block it with the other hand. So this is a really awesome control that you should do in this situation where you're here. But if I go like, if I don't have his wrist, he's blocking really effectively and you were kind of stuck like this. So it's okay to actually lose the seatbelt for a second just to get the wrist. Because if I have this, he can't turn into me like he did with you. You let go to kind of do the same thing, but you didn't have this control, so he's able to turn into you. So what I'll do in these situations is I won't threaten the hook, so his hand stays closer, I'll get it, and then I go back to threatening the hook, because now he can't use his hand. In some cases, if his hand's too far away and he keeps it there anyways, I'll let go, reach high, and lock it here. And then look, I'm still in the chair sit position, I'll loop my elbow over his head and hook it again, like this. Even if I don't get it fully here, I'm still attacking the seatbelt in the same way. And then I can even lock up positions higher up on the neck for arm bar reverse triangle. Ow. Ah, okay. That was really good. So we saw the problem. Tony has amazing back defense because he's Tony, the world's greatest white belt, and then the world's second greatest purple belt.
Who's the greatest?
Oh, it was Connor, but he got his brown belt.
No,
Maybe you can take the title.
Okay.
It's open. Interim title is on the table. All right. Again, scoot back this way a little, guys. Same thing. Your goal this time. Seatbelt. Always looking for a more grip seatbelt. And we'll see, if you can get it, we'll see if you're running the same problems. Don't take it easy on him, Tony. Make sure you escape. Or you get the kendo stick.
That hurt?
No.
Oh.
Go. Nice. Good, good. There it is. Wrist is there. Connect. Top hand. Ooh, close. He knows it's coming now. So that's okay. Cool. You got the hook. Perfect. Just get that second hook. It's right there. You have the seatbelt. Chair sit. Chair sit. Chair sit. Top hook again. Top hook again. Threaten the choke. Bottom leg over his bottom shoulder. Bottom leg over his bottom shoulder. You just got to think about both. Now you got the top hook. Second hook. Hold. Time. Perfect. Much better.
Yeah, I'm good.
What happened?
I headbutted a little bit.
It's all part of the game. Part of the game. One last time with sunshine on top. So, just for the people at home, we start this with a passing drill, just with the passing movement. Even though it's not like a resisted motion, 99% of the times you take someone's back, it's going to start in a scramble like this. You're going to initiate a passing movement. He's either going to turn away or turn into you, and you'll have to scramble to his back. So it's very important you practice these transitional movements, starting from a slow, controlled drilling portion and then transitioning into randomized reactions so we can problem solve live and fix the things as we go, okay? And then they have an opportunity to practice the actual motions, the techniques and the positions that I just showed them. And they're gonna end up in those positions again, almost guaranteed, and then they'll be able to apply them effectively and see how it works in a live situation rather than just being like, drill this back take and then do this, and then they spar live and never even end up in the position. Ready? Last time for sunshine. Go. Turn and back. Go. Time. One thing you could have done there. It's not over when someone turns into you like this. There's one last opportunity that you can do, and you're aware of this. You just didn't do it. You know this move. So here, you go, and as you go in, you don't connect quick enough, and he starts to turn back into you. Boom. You had the underhook. You had it. I saw you had it. It's on video. I can prove it. What are we doing here?
Stepping over.
Stepping over. Turning. We're back in the same back attack position, and we were effectively beat him turning back into us. Boom. If he does it again, even if I miss the underhook, you can have the fake. The false is called a false underhook. It's not a full one because I don't have his full arm. But here with just elbow, same thing. Boom. This is another good live drill you can do. Try again. Last time. Oh, you let that hook in too easy, Tony. Seatbelt, sunshine, seatbelt or collar grips, chair sits. Oh, just a little slow on that third circle. So, in that situation, for you, you need practice with that position. So at a later date, or even later today, for a separate live drilling portion, we would have you start from that position, he turns into you, and you go live. So every time you start the position, you would practice one. What is that even called?
Which position?
When they turn and you backstep around their head?
I don't think it has like a name.
It does, but I forgot what it was. All right, take a break. Take a break.
I'm glad I took that pre-workout.
That's how you drill, guys. Effective drilling.